Inspired by Jerry Ullsman and Maggie Taylor, we're going to try making an image that is layered. So some of you will have Photoshop and know how to use it, and you can do that. Those of you who don't, we will use Pixlr. And so I have typed in up here www.pixlr.com, and I will go to that website. I'm just going to go for what's called the Playful Pixlr X, and I'm going to ask it to open an image. And on my desktop, I have these images that are open. I have that image of myself. Go down to this column at the bottom, and it says Add Image. So I'm just going to click that. It says Add Image. I'm going to browse. That'll take me back. So I don't know which sky. Maybe I'll try the pink sky. And I'll just open that up like that. Now it's asking me, do I want a new image? Do I want to add? And I'm wanting to add because what I want to do is put that image on top of the other image. So there we go. That's the sky that's over top of my face now. So let me just show you really simple things that we could do. With the sky layer, if I click on those three dots and I go to what's called blend mode, if I just start going down the row, I can see that I can create some really kind of cool differences depending on what tones are going to be allowed to come through and what tones will be blocked. So you could make it look really surrealistic. You can make it very dreamy, I have to say. You know, some are going to work better than others to give you those kinds of effects. But I'm just going to do that one after another so you can see. Now, if you were in Photoshop, you can do this really just as easily. So all of you who are in Photoshop, in your Layers panel, there are those blending modes. So I want to crop that. Now, by the way, if I wanted to, I think I can make this smaller, and I just do on a Mac, it's Command minus, makes it smaller. So if I wanted to do that as a square image, what I could do is just make that a little bigger like that, and I'll do it on the other side as well. Okay, so there I am. I look a little evil, like I'm the devil, and I'm going to say I like that. And then what I'm going to do is, this is the cropping tool. So I'm just going to click on that cropping tool, and I'm going to say that I do want to crop this, and then I'll save it. And I'll save it. I can save it maybe as a PNG if I want, and that will flatten the image. So I'll download that, and that will end up over on my computer. So I have a JPEG and a PNG files of that picture now. So that would suffice. That would be one kind of image that you could do. If we wanted to try something else, what we could do is do this thing down here where we say we want to browse and we want to bring in a brand new image. So in this case, I'm going to bring in this girl here. This is me, actually, and I'm going to create a new. And again, I'm going to make a layer of that. And I have a blue sky I'll try with this one. And I haven't done this beforehand, so it might not be good. We'll just see. There it is, and we'll open that up, and that will be on top. Okay, so that image is now on top of the girl. And I can go back over here and try these blending modes where I multiply it, screen, makes it more dreamy, overlay, darken. So I typically kind of go through these and just see what each of them will do, because I can't really predict what it's going to do. And in fact, I might not like it as much as I like the other. I'm really liking these difference and exclusion. It's really kind of bizarre looking, isn't it? Let's see what we can get with these lower ones. Okay, I'm going to go back to difference, and that's going to be the one I'm going to use for this one. I'm going to call it difference. How's that? The other thing is I just want to show you these other possible things you could be using. So we could arrange this. This is the mover tool, and I could move those clouds underneath there until I liked it better. So I actually, maybe that's better when that cloud is in that spot there. And I might want to also then crop this. And just so you know, you can rotate by clicking that. So just be aware, or you can flip an image. Here it's telling me I've got a blending mode, so all that information's right in there. I'm going to crop, and it's telling me that it's that aspect that I already have. So this is, I have to click that to make it be the ratio that I want, which if I have a square image, it's going to be what we consider 1:1. So that's all fine now. So I'm going to try that and move it into my right position. Let me get rid of this ad. I'm so sorry about the ad, but I'm not really wanting to buy this program. Okay, so there's that face. So another thing I could do is cut something out. So if I'm on this layer here with this cloud, and I go to this cut, I could actually cut something that's sort of the heart shape. And so if I liked that, I could leave that like that. I could extract it as a layer. I could invert. Maybe the inversion is the better thing. Reset the cutout. We can always try something else, right? So maybe I want to do something like that. And again, I could invert that cutout. So you can see you can start to do some kind of fun and cool things with that. Let's look at the next thing down. We have our adjust. This will be really familiar to all of you. I'm going to go to the girl's face here. We can change saturation. We can change the temperature. All of these are tools that you'd probably know from your phone. We could change that hue till we get something maybe we like better. Another thing we can do is with the filter. And so if I do the filter, vignette, which is going to give us a darker corner. So I think that's fine. Let me keep going. This one is effect, and there's lots of effects here. So maybe I want something like retro. And within retro itself, I have different choices. So say I like that, or like that, that. You know, I can go through until I get one that I really think I like a lot, and I'll just apply it. Get rid of that ad. Right, this is kind of a fun thing. This can actually change the shape of the thing that you're touching. So let me give it more strength, and we'll just see if we can push that around. So you see I'm giving this girl a little bit of horns. This girl is actually me, so I guess we can do whatever we want when we're using our self as our base. So you can see you don't have to be too vain about your picture, because we're going to really mess around with it. So those are all things that you can do. Maybe these swirly things will be something interesting. But just know that when it's on the internet like this, some of these motions, it'll take it a while to actually take effect. This next one, let's see what it says. This is a patch. This would be the same kind of thing as if you wanted to get rid of a dust spot or something. So let's say here's my clone stamp, and let me just try it with the eye. And I don't know if this will work. I'm going to click it with my Option key down, and then I'm going to paint. So that's the same as with Photoshop. So no matter where I go, that eyeball should appear. and that is because this is not aligned. So it's just going to give me an eyeball every place that I go here. It should. Let's try it up here and see what it does. So we've got a bunch of eyeballs now. Okay, so this is really starting to get to be Jerry Uelsmann, right, with those eyeballs that he did. So anyway, you can play around with those tools. This is a drawing tool, so maybe you want to actually draw with something here. Let's make the size smaller, and I'll just like draw a circle around this eye. Now obviously if you had a digital drawing pad, this would be easier. I'm just doing this with my finger on my scroller. I'm not really liking too much what I just did, but there's a way to undo what I just did. Let's see if I can do it with this. Yeah, so that says undo and undo and undo and undo. So I can go back to a point that I sort of like it. I actually did like having these weird eyes, but we'll leave it like that for now. We don't want, I don't think, to have any text, but just so you know, the text is great on this program. I mean, you have really some beautiful typefaces that aren't in Photoshop. So I would recommend, even if not for this assignment, but later if you wanted to use this, you could. And I'm just going to say Jerry. Okay, so then that looks like that. So I'm going to save that one, and when I save, anytime I'm saving as a JPEG or PNG, that is going to, and I'll save it as a low quality, that's going to save it in what we call a flattened image. So I would never be able to change this again. So what you will have now are some great images for Halloween, or just some really interesting images that you have mixed up with clouds and your face and whatever objects. Upload to Canvas and you're all set.